Okay, let's go around the room and finish filling these in. Where did we stop? Oh, you're all moved anyway. Okay, we'll start with you, Harrison. Cobaltic dichromate.
CO2, parentheses CO2.
No, well, you mean, yeah, actually you don't have to do that. If it was carbon monoxide like that, we'd put it in parentheses. But since cobalt is a two-letter symbol, we don't have to.
Oh,
Okay, because it's uppercase C, lowercase o.
all right. And then this one in parentheses, Cr2O7 and the 3 on outside.
Correct. Cobaltic is cobalt 3. How about the next one, Carissa?
Ca, and then in parentheses NO2, and then a 2.
Lithium carbonate, Markeith?
Li2 and CO3.
Yep, and we don't need any parentheses because there's just one carbonate.
Would you
And
mark this wrong if we did?
no, but don't. It gets messy. Okay? I mean, I don't mark it wrong if you do, because sometimes I know you start thinking, okay, polyatomic, and you put it in parentheses, then you do the math and you're like, oh, I don't need it. So I don't mark it wrong, but it just messes things up. Morgan?
Ni3, and in parentheses PO3, and then close parentheses 2.
Okay. So once again, it's not that hard when we're only doing one thing. Now, I noticed this took a little longer. Some of you had those polyatomic ion sheets out and were looking things up. By the time you're done studying this mess, that's got to be automatic. Otherwise, you won't be able to pass the test. Or more important than the test, I mean, I know the test is important to you, but more important is that you won't be able to name compounds and you won't be able to know those compounds and those ions and how they behave in solution, and you won't be able to go forward and have the joy of chemistry. That would be the biggest sad part. Okay, how do we name compounds now? We go the other way. We name them cation, space, anion, all lowercase, 2 words. And again, it doesn't matter how many ions are in there, they're polyatomic, but we follow the same rules as we did for the monoatomic ions. So we look at this, and in our head, we break this apart. And we write calcium carbonate. Looking at the next one, we break this into pieces. Well, it's cobalt and it's phosphate, but remember, cobalt can make 2 different ions. So I know phosphate is a 3-, so this has to be cobalt 3+. So I would call this cobalt 3. Or what would I call it in Latin? Cobaltic phosphate. You can use either name, it doesn't matter. Don't try and show off and give both. That's when you'll screw up. I've had students do that. They'll write cobalt 2, cobaltic. It's like, no, it's either one or the other, but those aren't the same. Okay, again. Lead chloride. Well, I know chlorine's a -1, and there's 2 of them, so that's a -2. So this has to be a +2. So this is lead 2 chloride. And what's lead 2 in Latin? Plumbus. Now, again, we look at this. Sodium chromate. Yes, there are 2 sodiums there, but that has nothing to do with the name. We name the cation, we name the anion. We don't say sodium dichromate or disodium chromate. That's not right. It's just sodium chromate. Name the cation, name the anion. Okay, go ahead and do the next ones.